before all that, we can't just skip over the whole process of the Shark Tank experience. But take us back. So where are we growing up at? We growing up in...
So I was born in Bellflower,
Okay.
California.
Come on.
SoCal.
Yeah.
And then my pops, we moved to Vegas when I was 10.
Nice.
So I've been in Vegas, 47, 37. I'm 47 this year, so it'll be 37
So no
years.
stranger to the 702. Yeah.
No, I grew up here, and this is where I got my street, my entrepreneurial spirit and learning how to launch things and fund things and get things done. Like that was all.
Yeah, Vegas seems to be the place where you could do that and could be the dreamer.
Meeting a lot of people.
Yeah, and meet a lot of people, the resources and the relationships out there. But take us to where we talked about Shark Tank. You guys haven't already, you've seen it with the Shark Tank because there's hundreds of thousands of people that try to enter to try to get their product on this. Mm-hmm. Tell us how this process for you was even something that was on your radar.
Woo. It's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, they make it hard on purpose. You have to stand in line with 1,000+ people at these open auditions.
They don't make it easy.
So I stood in a line in LA. You're supposed to be in a whole day line.
Yeah.
You get 1 minute pitch.
Wow.
So I went through that whole thing. Then they get a call. You get a call back. Then you fill out more paperwork. Then you got to film a 10-minute video answering all these questions. This is an
you going into some hoops?
Oh man! And I went through all that. Ghost.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Oh,
Silence.
so you did the whole process and nothing came about.
And then the next season came out. I go, well, I guess I'm not going to be on that season, you know. And then so I said, you know what? They got an open audition in Vegas. Let's do it again.
And what years is it? Around 2017,
Yeah,
2016?
so 2016.
Got it.
15, 16 probably.
Yeah.
And it was right, And then so I did it all again. Did it at the Venetian. Stand in line. 1 minute pitch.
Yeah.
Call back.
You did the LA one already. Now you're in Vegas.
I'm like, yeah.
Got it.
So it was a 2-year process and thousands of hours of filming and sending samples and this and that.
Grinding.
Just all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I finally got the call.
What was the call like though? Like what made you stand out through the 1 minute pitch too? Because these guys are listening to pitches all day.
Yeah, I mean,
you had to stick out like a turd in a punch bowl at some point.
Yeah, I mean, the 6'5" Mexican Jewish,
the Mexican Jew, huh?
Yeah, that was my tag there. They all laughed when I said that. And then, another thing is energy.
Yeah,
you show up vibrant. Show
Exactly.
up with the energy. Learn how to just get somebody excited.
Yeah.
And then so that charisma and that you got to bring it.
So you knew that going in too.
Well,
because you already did the process in LA the year before.
I did it already, and then so I think they remembered me.
Yeah.
And then there's an interesting thing that happened though. How I think I got on, and I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I went to a Tony Robbins seminar.
Wow.
And
good old banana hands.
And banana hands. And I think the producers were in there because I was on. They have you jumping and bringing all you're screaming and all this stuff. But if I jumped in the seats that I was at, I would have crushed somebody. So I went to the left of the stage, and I was bringing the heat.
Yeah.
And the guy on stage goes, "Do you see, guys? When I tell you to play a full out, play like that guy." And then they put the cameras on me.
Wow.
And I had my coconut.
Yeah.
And I was dancing, and like all the 10,000 people are seeing me now.
Yeah.
Literally 5 minutes later, I got the call.
Wow.
I wasn't supposed to have my phone on, and I go, "This is like a 310 number." And like, "Yo, it's Shark Tank. You're gonna be on." Click. I'm like, "What?"
And this is at the convention.
I'm in the middle of the show.
Wow.
It was crazy, and I was like, somebody had to have been in there that said, "You remember that guy? Get him on," or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because we got to remember it's TV, right?
Yeah.
They want to bring on TV. They want to bring personalities, and that moment where they just seen you going at it, and you already did the 2 years prior. They had the energy there for you. Because when you see your intro coming into the show, we'll show the clip right here, but you came in with the ukulele, you was over there doing it, had the girl in the grass skirt and everything. So you had your presentation. Is that something that you had to work on before you said, okay, I'm about to go on the show? You sit before Mark Cuban and the Sharks. Like, tell me how that vibe for you was like, I got to come different.
Well, I mean, that was just, I wrote that jingle. I had already had all that done. Like, that was me. That's my authentic, like, my vibe. I like to bring that vibration, but the crazy part is that they told me to do my pitch a certain way, like a format.
Yeah.
And
like structured.
Yeah. And so I got there the day before, I got on the set, and they're like, they had me do my pitch. They're like, "Okay, great. You're going to be last tomorrow." So I get a call at like 9 at night. I was about to go to bed or something. Yeah. And they're like, "We have a change. You're going to be first." So now I'm like, damn, now I got to get up at like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Prep the Conegas, get to the studio. This is in LA, in Culver City. And so I get there, and like, the producers loved it so much. you're not doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Now we got a rolling camera. Now we got,
Yeah.
And I was like,
Different on the set now.
They flipped the script on me that moment, and I was not ready because I had pitched rehearsed my pitch 300 times.
You already had it ready to go.
I was down.
Yeah.
Now I'm starting
They threw
over.
that monkey wrench in there.
And now I had to learn, because I didn't rehearse anything,
Yeah.
how to walk, how to sing, how to strum, and I've got it going into the tank. It's like, they switched my whole
They
game
play the
up, bro.
suspenseful music as you're walking in. And
They made me sweat. So
Yeah.
I was sweating. My brain was just on.
and then you got to do your presentation.
No, it was done. But they said, if you mess up, keep going. There's no take backs.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. And
One take, Jake. Yeah.
The palms are sweaty,
Yeah.
mom spaghetti moment, man. I was like, this is it. I got to go.
Yeah.
And I went. And so what was cool is that, they didn't bite.
Yeah.
I sang in, did my pitch. They all went out. What was beautiful about it, when I reflect back, is if you're resilient enough, you can figure it out no matter what.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed to no end that they didn't bite.
But take us back to that. Like, I mean, you had the production value of walking in. Like, take us to that feeling of right when you hit that door and you're seeing the intimidation factor has to be on 1,000,000. Because now you're looking at the Sharks, you're used to watching on TV, you're an entrepreneur mind, but now it's time to present.
Yeah.
Like, tell me about that feeling, just seeing like Mark Cuban and the rest of the Sharks just staring and glaring at you.
I mean, truthfully, it was crazy because I wanted to do a deal with Cuban. I had always had that in my life.
He was like, that's the Shark I want.
I wanted to do a deal with him.
Yeah.
He was the first one that went out.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I noticed that too.
But I told him Coco Love.
Yeah.
And like the Coco Love brand came from, that thing. And yeah, it was intimidated, but I was so nervous and I was so scared. Everything went black.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an hour of questions. You only see 6-7 minutes of it, but it was an hour of
Grilling.
hammer. And they don't let you answer.
Yeah.
Boom, bang, bang, bang. And so I was like trying to answer everybody. And he asked me a question and I was about to answer it. And somebody went over the top.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, and he goes, I can't get answers. I'm out.
Yeah.
And I go, oh.
And they kind of like, you feel like they do that on purpose to kind of test your your will.
They shake you, man.
Yeah.
They shake you up. And so
Because when you went initially for the Coco Taps.
Coco
Tap, and he was going into the coconut. So like that, when I seen Mark Cuban talking about it, like to see Coco Love come out of that. But continue the story, because when Mark went out, I was pissed. Like when you rewatch it, I was like, Mark, I feel like he missed out on an opportunity, because you're right, he would have been the Shark. That would have been the perfect partner. But we'll never know now.
I mean, no, it's all good. You know, I mean, like, I feel like, these guys don't really want to do deals.
Yeah.
They got so much money and they got so many deals already. It's just headache at that point. So even at the valuation that I priced it at back then, it was a steal.
Yeah.
Like 10% of my company for 150 grand.
Yeah, because I was
nothing.
yeah, exactly.
Nothing.